Hello, my crafty friends. Today I'm sharing a Christmas card made with some Your Next Stamp goodies. So I've been making a number of bridge cards lately, and this bridge card is larger than A2 and it fits in a 5x7 envelope or an A7 envelope. So the bridge cards are fun. They have such good stability. In fact, the first bridge card I made was a birthday card for my husband, and he was so impressed with how sturdy it was and how nicely it stood for display, and he kept it at his spot on the breakfast bar for quite a while. So the pattern paper is called a Winter's Night. It is actually a 6x6 pattern paper pad. I don't usually buy 6x6 pads, but I liked the colors, I liked the pattern, and I wasn't sure if I'd get enough use out of the full 12 by 12 paper because there's an awful lot of cut aparts in it. So I did just get that, and I got it last year or the year before. Actually, I think it was the year before, from Michael's. And you can see there's a coordinating print on either side here, and this adorable Snowman Family, that is from Your Next Stamp. I stamped it in Your Next Stamp's black olive ink onto alcohol-friendly cardstock and then colored it with my Ohuhu markers. I also gave it a blast with my shimmer spray and then used Wink of Stella to add a little bit more shimmer to the ribbon on his hat, the pom-poms on their hats, and the fringe on the scarf. And then I did add some gel pen highlights. The snowflakes were punched using a Martha Stewart punch from white pearl cardstock, and then I used gumdrops. You know I love the Your Next Stamp gumdrops, and these ones are called Blueberry Bliss. I popped the Snow Family up on foam tape to the back of the card, and I used Karen Burniston's new long nature edges because this is a 6.5 inch width, and most dies for A2 cards aren't quite long enough. So these were designed to work with slimline cards. The cutting line is in between two stitched lines. So my piece of white cardstock was about this big. I die cut through the center and then used the fall away piece on the bottom here. So I got two snowbanks with one pass through my machine. When I was finished and I put the card down, I didn't like that I could see the end of the fussy cut Snow Family, the snowbank. It didn't look finished enough for me from that angle. It looked fine if it was up high. So I used the double pierced hills die from Your Next Stamp and die cut another strip of white cardstock, and I like that finished look much better. This is the back of the card with another piece of pattern paper from the package and one of the cut aparts. So there's my sentiment, and there's room to sign our greeting here. Now the fun thing about a bridge card, not only of course does it stand up so nicely for display, it folds completely flat for mailing. My friend Betty had sent me a bridge card in this size, and I just took the measurements from her card. I'm not sure where she got it, so I don't know who to give credit to. But quickly, the measurements for this are a cardstock base that is 9 inches by 5 inches. You put the 9-inch side in your scoring tool and score it at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 6 1/2, and 7 3/4. The folding is also very easy. The first one is a mountain fold. The next one is a valley fold. And then it's reversed, a valley fold and a mountain fold. So there is your card base, and then your bridge piece is 6 1/2 by 1. So your bridge piece is the finished size of the card. So my finished card is 6 1/2 inches. And they get attached to this panel and this panel, and there is your bridge card. Remember, this piece can go anywhere on your card. So if you put your bridge up at the top, you could dangle things from the bottom. You could have narrow one at the top and one at the bottom. It's lots of fun to play with, and there's all kinds of variations. These measurements are simple. I don't like dealing with 1/8 or 1/16. To make my pattern paper layers, I usually take a 1/4 inch off. So with a 5-inch depth, this piece is 1¼ inches wide by 5 inches tall. So therefore my decorator piece at 1/4 inch smaller is 4¾ inches long by 1 inch wide. So 1 inch by 4¾ 1 by 4¾ and the same here. I like to do a prototype and to keep with my card making supplies so that I don't have to try to figure it out or remember it each time. And I don't have to remember now which one was the valley fold, which one was the mountain fold. So I use old cardstock and quickly write down some measurements. And then on the back of this one, I also wrote down that the center panel is 4 by 5 inches. So the pattern paper layer would be, again, 1/4 inch smaller on each measurement. So instead of 4, it's 3¾ and instead of 5, it's 4¾ So very easy measuring. These panels are the same, 1 by 4¾ and you cut 4 of them. And I didn't do layering on this piece because on mine I did a shaped die cut. So that other than the 6½ inch width, I didn't need to add any matting layers. I hope that helps explain how I made a bridge card and the measurements that I used. And for this one, I will also add a 5 by 7 inch cardstock panel inside the envelope. I will add a little bead of adhesive across to attach it into the envelope so it doesn't move around, and then my card will fit in, and then there's no bumps when it goes through the mail. This was just a 1/2 inch strip of pattern paper that was sitting in the package, so I used wet glue and adhered it down really well. I'm lucky enough to get some happy mail from friends, and I get washi tape that hasn't been secured down and it's peeling and lifting off, or people will use a tape runner and not make sure they get right to the edge, and they come kind of mangled. So I really do try to make sure that if I'm putting something on the outside of my envelopes, it's adhered down really well. If you enjoyed my video today, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of my interactive cards. And that's it for me today.